Hello and welcome to the LFC Ahmedabad podcast. ये आशुतोष को काम तो है नहीं, तो ये हमें रात को सोने से पहले उठा के बोलता है कि तुम पॉडकास्ट करो. एंड
Yeah,
आई थिंक ये पहला ऐसा पॉडकास्ट होगा जहाँ पे हम लोग जस्ट आफ्टर द मैच करने वाले हैं. मोस्ट
yeah,
ऑफ द टाइम हमें थोड़ा सा सिंक इन करने के लिए चाहिए रहता है.
yeah.
एंड स्पेशली आफ्टर जो घमासान हमारे ग्रुप में हुआ है आफ्टर मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड.
Yes.
And we will be answering the big question in the end of this podcast, so keep listening to it.
Yeah.
And just how was the game? It was crazy. Never
Yeah.
expected. Never हम लिवरपूल को एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि लाइक 4-5 गोल मारे, बट दिस लिवरपूल स्क्वाड हैज नेवर स्कोर्ड 9, मोस्टली 7. आई थिंक चैंपियंस लीग में मैरीबोर के सामने अपन ने 7-0 जीता था,
Yeah.
बट उसके बाद वी हैवंट हैड सच अ बिग विन. तो हाउ डू यू रेट टुडेस गेम, जहां से भी तुमने देखा हो? आई
Yeah.
नो दैट यू मिस्ड अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ द गेम. सो
Yeah. So हुआ था क्या मैं सो रहा था एक्चुअली सैटरडे था ऑफ था तो मैं मुझे पता नहीं था एक्चुअली कि सुबह 10 बजे गेम स्टार्ट हो रहा है. आई डोंट नो समहाउ आई फॉरगॉट. तो मैं उठा जैसा नोटिफिकेशन स्टार्ट हुए कि लिवरपूल 2-0 से आगे, तो मैंने थोड़ा आंख ज्यादा खोल के देखा तो 6 मिनट. तो कहा, अरे यार 6 मिनट में दो गोल लग गए, तो आज तो ऑब्वियसली आज तो आक्रमण ही हुआ है. So I started TV, and then when I started was the third goal. I think I can rate आज का जो performance है 10 out of 10, flawless. So सामने
आई
different. Yeah, go ahead.
नहीं, सो मेरा ये था कि आफ्टर मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड गेम आई थिंक ये इंटेंसिटी हमें यूनाइटेड के गेम में चाहिए थी, प्लस इट बीइंग अ मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड गेम वी शुड हैव प्लेड मोर एग्रेसिवली.
Yeah,
इट जस्ट फेल्ट लाइक कि हम लोग, वैसा नहीं होता कि 3 दिन कंटिन्यूअसली गेम खेल रहे हैं और फिर संडे को किसी ने उठा दिया, बोलते भाई आज चल गली क्रिकेट का मैच है अपन खेलने
yeah,
चलते हैं. देन लाइक यू जस्ट वांट टू स्लीप. तुम्हें और कोई वो इंटेंसिटी तो था ही नहीं.
no,
बहुत ठंडे थे यार. इट वाज सो बैड.
yeah,
बट आफ्टर दैट मैं हमेशा, आई थिंक मैंने प्रीवियस पॉडकास्ट में भी यही बोला है कि लिवरपूल इज सो डिपेंडेंट ऑन द स्टार्ट. लाइक द फर्स्ट
yeah,
10-15 मिनट्स इज सो क्रूशियल फॉर अस कि हम लोग का टेम्पो ऑफ द गेम वहीं से ही आता है. हम लोग कभी कैचअप नहीं कर पाते. वी डोंट नेवर टर्न अराउंड. लाइक फर्स्ट 45 मिनट्स बेकार गए तो नेक्स्ट 45 मिनट्स अच्छा. कभी नहीं हुआ. और एटलीस्ट इन क्लॉप एरा we always need to have this amazing start and then we kind of build on it, वरना
yeah.
कैचअप करने में अपनी लगती है.
So
तो
historically लिवरपूल ने 90 मिनट के बाद जिस टीम ने हाईएस्ट स्कोर किए उसमें अपना है. So I think there is लिवरपूल की पेडिग्री है, but yeah, the way Klopp's team play उसको ही आगे से ही हमला करना है. We always want to go ahead. But yeah, I think ये बात तुम्हारी इसमें एक लॉजिक है कि हम पिछले कई टाइम से we keep falling behind, और हम पीछे जाते हैं तो हम जीत नहीं पाते. इट हैपेंड इन चैंपियंस लीग फाइनल. और यूनाइटेड के सामने आई वाज नॉट पेसिमिस्टिक, पर मुझे लग रहा था क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली इट्स अगेंस्ट लिवरपूल और विथ चेंज इन मैनेजमेंट मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था कि यूनाइटेड विल फाइट बैक. बट इतना सरेंडर मैंने एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया. आई थिंक वी इट कॉस्ट अस बिकॉज क्लॉप ने अपनी मिस्टेक से जो मिडफील्ड स्टार्ट किया था, that actually cost us. I don't think we deserve to lose the
वो
match.
डेफिनेटली लाइक व्हेन
Yeah,
हमने जब स्क्वाड देखे और उसमें पता है कि लाइक फैबिनियो है ही नहीं, आई एम
yeah,
लाइक व्हाट, व्हाई इज नॉट फैबिनियो प्लेइंग इन द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट गेम फॉर लिवरपूल?
yeah,
लाइक अगर लिवरपूल रेलेगेट भी हो रहा है देन मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड इज द गेम. लाइक वी
yeah,
वांट टू प्ले दैट गेम.
yeah,
सो या आई मीन वो सब I just feel like थोड़ा सा contradiction तो है obviously, because I say that we need to start really well, but we have been mentality monsters as well. We have come back from different games, but again like वो क्रूज कंट्रोल वाला हमेशा तभी आता है जब हम लोग अच्छे से स्टार्ट करते हैं. लाइक हम
yeah,
टेम्पो सेट करते हैं. एंड आई विल बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, मैं जब वो यूनाइटेड वाला गेम देख रहा था, इट वाज प्रोबेबली द मोस्ट डिप्रेसिंग काउंटर प्रेस दैट लिवरपूल डिड. लाइक इतना हाफ हार्टेड, इतने हाफ स्पेसेस दे रखे हैं. तो हाफ स्पेसेस दोगे तो रैशफोर्ड और एलांगा जैसे फास्ट प्लेयर्स
yeah.
तुम्हें घुमाएंगे, ऑब्वियसली घुमाएंगे.
Exactly. That was shocking for me that जिस ease के साथ United was attacking us, जिस ease के साथ वो हम हमने we're just we don't care type of attitude. I don't think players meant that, but जो भी
वो हो
midfield
नो
में
नो
बड़ा खड्डा
वो
ही था.
होता है.
So
नहीं,
like, there was no way.
मिडफील्ड भी छोड़ दें फॉर दैट इंस्टेंस. लाइक
Hmm.
प्लेयर्स आर not up to the mark. हम लोग we kind of got on the lethargic side of the bed on
Yeah,
that day.
that's
So
true.
I think,
That's true.
well,
So,
let's not ponder about that. I
yeah.
mean, we had an amazing game, which was this game.
Hmm.
What difference did you see between United and Liverpool? Sorry, like United's game and Bournemouth's game, like Liverpool's
Yeah.
approach. What do you
So
think was different?
first of all, I think obviously Bournemouth K players are not like that quality of United. Like United quality is not also great, but obviously
Well, like
Bournemouth.
I mean,
Yeah,
Bournemouth
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 players
में
are.
quality नहीं भी होते हुए भी you would
Yeah,
not expect them to concede 9, like 4
no,
5 जैसा drubbing तो होता ही है,
no.
हर किसी के साथ होता
So
है.
I think a big main difference मैंने ये देखा कि first of all like हमारी passing game was very well. Plus हमारे जो like full backs थे, like especially Alexander Arnold का performance काफी अच्छा रहा. Like Diaz was like more in the game. Like compared to other games हम देख रहे थे कि crosses जो box में आ रहे हैं वो
Right,
connect हो रहे थे. Like
right.
अगर Diaz आ गए, Firmino आ गए. I think biggest difference was Firmino. Some magically somehow उसने आज जो performance दिखाया that was absolutely amazing.
I
Plus
just felt कि Firmino was playing more advanced than he was playing in the United game, क्योंकि United game में वो बहुत drop back कर रहा था, तो उसके वजह से he was not
yeah,
anywhere near the 18 yard box.
yeah.
And so that made a lot of difference because he is
I
much
think
better
Fabinho
around
like
that.
Fabinho made a big difference because Fabinho की
True.
वजह से I think Firmino like felt like better.
उसको इतना
uh,
पीछे नहीं जाना चाहिए.
हाँ पीछे नहीं आना पड़ा. Like last game में like how Henderson and Milner basically did not exist. So वो एक reason था. I think Firmino की like ये selflessness मेरे को पसंद है कि अगर mid में game नहीं बन रहा है तो वो पीछे आएगा. Then yeah, that might help us at least if we don't score, like we will not let maybe other teams score. But yeah, circumstances कई बार unfortunate रहते. पर इस game में I saw कि him, Diaz और Salah, like Salah was very unlucky. काफी लोग like were joke मार रहे थे कि Salah ने नहीं मारा, but Salah के पास दो clear cut chance थे. It was just bad luck कि वो connect नहीं हुए. We should have had 11.
मैं एक चीज बोलता हूँ, Salah got his contract, so he can do whatever he wants to do. It doesn't matter. But it doesn't happen that like Liverpool scores 9 and then Salah doesn't even score an assist. मैं पूरा मैच में यही सोच के हंस रहा था. Like हर कोई मार के जाएगा, मे बी हेंडरसन भी एक मार लेगा, बट साला को गोल नहीं मिलने
वाला. तुमने देखा like उसने दोनों चांस मिस किए. Every both times he was smiling that like अरे यार रह गया. ऐसा नहीं कि अरे यार रह गया. ऐसा कुछ नहीं था.
I mean,
he was like
वो
happy just to play and he was like yeah साला genuine chance था चला गया. So I think that attitude like I like that Salah much better कि he knows कि हम तो मारने ही वाले हैं पर साला मैं नहीं मार पाया इन लोगों के साथ. So I think that attitude was very good and I think Salah maybe again golden boot this time.
Hopefully, I mean ये घालन इतने सारे मार दिए आज के दिन में भी तो थोड़ा सा है, but I hopefully City drops its intensity.
Looks like this season. Yeah.
अच्छा, मैं एक और बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग चीज आज देख रहा था कि there was a very good combination of balls through the defense and above the defense. It was not all hoof ball. So do you think like is it that Darwin का effect है कि like he's so good aerially that we are trying way too hard to give it to him on his head, and like this game kind of epitomizes कि like Darwin should not be like try harding so much and then just let his natural game come because he's a good player, like he can run behind defense and finish the ball. So what do you think?
मैं इसमें like I don't feel कि मैं कुछ like ज्यादा कह पाऊंगा क्योंकि मैंने डार्विन को इतना ज्यादा मैंने पहले खेलते देखा नहीं. उसमें like compilations or so like yeah, just in my opinion I think जो हमारी like long ball game थी this time was much better. But in my honest opinion जिस प्रकार से हमारा midfield है like Thiago and Fabinho, it makes sense for like our midfielders to play those like long passes. Defense say like yeah it definitely I think Van Dijk is the best option or him and Arnold like basically like can play those. बट अगर हमें हमारा मिडफील्ड का ज्यादा उपयोग करना है फॉर स्पेशली अगेंस्ट बिगर टीम्स, देन आई थिंक हमारी गेम थोड़ी मिक्स्ड रहनी चाहिए. आई डोंट थिंक वी शुड
Right.
बिकम टोटली डिपेंडेंट ऑन
Oh
लाइक
yeah, yeah,
लॉन्ग बॉल्स. लाइक आई
yeah.
थिंक डार्विन का जो तुमने बताया, ही कैन बी वेरी वैल्यूएबल अगेंस्ट लो ब्लॉक टीम्स,
Hmm.
क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली लॉन्ग बॉल्स है, अगर ऑपोजिशन ने पकड़ नहीं पाए उस बॉल को, तो ऑब्वियसली इट्स
Hmm.
लाइक अ कैट इन द pigeon house
Right.
kind of situation, and Darwin is very good in that situation from what I
Hmm.
have seen so far.
Hmm.
So
Right.
मुझे लगता है कि ये सिचुएशन हमें लो ब्लॉक टीम्स के सामने, स्पेशली लाइक Bournemouth which might go and back and defend, like Bournemouth like
Hmm.
likes to play advance,
Right.
but there will be teams जो
Right.
पीछे ही बैठ जाएगी. So I think उसके
Hmm.
सामने ये tactic तुमने जो बताई, like that will be more useful. But I
Hmm.
think against bigger teams it makes sense because we have players like when they
Right.
are fit to
Hmm.
play through the middle.
Right.
So ये दोनों approach I think we can alternate.
Yeah. I think वो तो होगा भी, because when Thiago gets fit and he comes back, you will see
Yeah.
more of these balls through the defensive lines,
Yeah.
and so it will be much better.
And Thiago
So
के भी long balls are very good. Like if
yeah, sure, sure. I'm very happy for Harvey Elliott. I mean,
Mm.
he scored an amazing goal, and वो
Yeah.
एक रहता है ना, like cricket में भी we say कि like when you score your first run or you get your first boundary, वो sweet time करते हो ball को. I think that was, उसको देख के मुझे सही में रोना भी आया, पता है, like when he was crying, I felt like crying, because
Yeah. I
it is
think
so much pressure on him, because not because of the money but just how talented he is, and हमने Champions League में भी उसको अच्छे से खेलते हुए देखा, but it is so crazy, like having your first Premier League goal in front of in Anfield, in
लास्ट
front
सीजन
of your
उसने
home crowd.
सॉरी लास्ट सीजन उसने मिस कर लिया था लाइक इंजरी की
Right.
वजह से. आई थिंक ही फेल्ट दैट लास्ट सीजन वाज काइंड ऑफ हिज सीजन,
His
ज्यादा
breakthrough, yeah.
चांस मिलते उसको.
Hmm.
तो आई थिंक दिस इज जस्ट लाइक मे बी मेकिंग अप फॉर इट. सो आई
Right.
थिंक इस साल हम लाइक बेटर पोजिशनड है, बिकॉज लाइक
Hmm.
वंस वी हैव आवर मिडफील्डर्स फिट with existing options, we can
Right.
challenge. Obviously, trophies jeetna, that will be next level. But I think this midfield can challenge when fit, like when fit.
When fit, and I think,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going. It is like हेंडरसन को मैन यूनाइटेड गेम के बाद बहुत फ्लैक मिला था, एंड आई मीन
Yeah.
ऑब्वियसली हिज परफॉर्मेंस वाज प्रीटी बैड, सो लाइक देयर इज नो टू वेज अबाउट इट. मतलब उसने कितना भी अच्छा कैप्टनसी किया है, उसने अपने लिए कितना कुछ भी किया है, दैट गेम वाज बैड एंड इट वाज बैड.
Yeah.
बट डोंट यू थिंक लाइक व्हेन द टीम इज ऑन सॉन्ग, हेंडरसन इज दैट कंडक्टर जो चीजें कितने अच्छे से कनेक्ट करता है. I think this game basically epitomizes what Jordan Henderson is when everybody is on song and everybody's
Yeah.
mindset is right there.
So मेरा ओपिनियन इस बारे में ये है कि लाइक आई नो हेंडरसन लिमिटेड है फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. तो आई विल नॉट अज्यूम कि हेंडरसन विल प्ले एब्सोल्युटली अमेजिंग इन ऑल गेम्स. प्लस उसके इंजरी रिकॉर्ड से हम एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि वो साल में 60-70% गेम्स खेलेगा. तो जो गेम मैनेजमेंट आता है, आई थिंक इट मेक्स सेंस दैट वी प्ले हेंडरसन अगेंस्ट दीज टीम्स. बड़ी टीम्स है उसके सामने, आई थिंक इन माय ओपिनियन we should be more like adventurous by playing youngsters, क्योंकि हेंडरसन gets found out a lot now against
I
बड़ी
think
टीम्स के सामने. So
found
and
out से ज्यादा Henderson is not known for his passing range. He is more
yeah,
there. I think Henderson का एक job है which is to protect Trent's side, क्योंकि Trent इतना आगे जाता है, so he has to be
yeah,
like switching plays with Trent so that when he goes ahead, though Henderson kind of takes care of the right hand side of midfield. But again, if you're thinking that Henderson can thread you a pass maybe once in a year, but not every game, so we know that Henderson is limited. But do you think a midfield like Harvey Elliott, Carvalho, and Fabinho would work for us?
maybe
Considering
थोड़ा
both are very
inexperienced
right,
होगा.
right,
I don't
exactly.
think Carvalho or Elliott should play together when we have other midfielders fit. So
Right.
मेरे जो like pecking order में, first of all Fabinho and Thiago start every game. Obviously Thiago का injury concern देख के he will not start every game. So I think हमारे पास हमें एक sacrifice करना पड़ेगा this season unless we sign a midfielder. That we have to play either Henderson और Thiago alternate, और दूसरी साइड पे कार्वालियो और एलियट दोनों. maybe after we can sub them in. So ये थोड़ी लाइक कॉम्बिनेशन हम खेल सकते हैं. बट अनलेस वी साइन अ मिडफील्डर, आई थिंक चांसेस है इस सीजन कि क्लॉप और थियागो ऑल्टरनेट हो गए, क्योंकि दोनों की अवेलेबिलिटी इश्यूज बहुत बड़े हैं. तो आई डोंट थिंक कि वी can afford to play Carvalho and Elliot given their inexperience. So हमें इन दोनों को ऐसे alternate करवाना पड़ेगा. But that is again a bigger risk which we have already seen this season.
Acha, one another thing. Similarly, similarly to Henderson, what if we game manage Robertson? Because I feel like Robertson पिछले 5 साल से हर गेम खेल रहा है. And वो बर्नआउट मेरे को शायद मैन यूनाइटेड के मैच में दिखा. I just feel I mean, today he was amazing, no doubt. But do you think Tsimikas should get chances in games like these, and so that we get Robertson fully fit and ready to go on games where we really need him?
I think हम इस सीजन देख रहे हैं कि regularly Robertson is getting subbed around 70-75. तो मेरे ख्याल से ये एक maybe is a tactic to keep
because Tsimikas is not bad at all.
No,
to be honest, Tsimikas
is good in my opinion. Not every time. He can also make blunders.
Well, I mean, the balls he delivers. I mean, obviously, मैं खुद wing back खेल चुका हूँ, and I know that every cross will not be perfect, but whatever he crosses,
deputy, I think he can deputize Henderson. Robertson.
Right.
So I think maybe 60-40% ratio can be achieved. क्योंकि इस बार का सीजन भी थोड़ा कट शॉर्ट होगा दिसंबर अराउंड, तो उस कट शॉर्ट नहीं बट चेंज होगा शेड्यूल. तो आई थिंक गेम्स थोड़े थिक एंड फास्ट आने वाले हैं.
एग्जैक्टली.
तो इट मेक्स सेंस दैट क्लॉप रोटेट्स, बिकॉज हम उस एरिया में इंजरी अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, बिकॉज वी आल्सो नो सिमिकाज इज आल्सो काइंड ऑफ इंजरी प्रोन. सो आई थिंक बैट गेम मैनेजमेंट वहां पे बेटर रहेगा. I'm not that worried about right side. Left side may be maybe I think they should alternate. So I think वो रहेगा. So one more thing, I think game के बारे में तो I don't think there are any flaws. But मैं ये आज एक नया discussion start हुआ था कि आज अब 9-0 से जीत गए. So now go ahead.
मेरा वही क्वेश्चन था. I would place it थोड़ा suspenseful way में. Do you want to read into this game a lot and say what will happen in future? क्योंकि I mean, after Man United game, apparently Man United कितना भी हगे, लिवरपूल के सामने जीते तो Man United is the best team in the world. Lisandro Martinez is the best defender in the world. ये आता ही है. And so they don't care about what happened to them in previous seasons and how shit their team is. But लिवरपूल के सामने जीतते ही everything is hunky dory, ETH is on the wheel and whatever, whatnot. And so we being more practical fans, and so do you read into this game, or it's this was Bournemouth, I want to see this against a Tottenham or a Arsenal or a Chelsea?
So I think outside of top 6, I think we can assume that we are capable of winning. हमने जो पहले 2 मैच ड्रॉ करवाए, combination of bad luck and some poor mistakes.
Sure,
they can happen. But I think this proves that अगर हम lower ऐसी teams है उसको दबाए तो we can win. But that does not mean कि हम Tottenham, Arsenal, जो Chelsea के सामने भी same success हमारी हम ले पाएंगे, unless we have our strong players in the lineup. So I don't think we should, now assume that Liverpool will be the sector challenge karega City ko. Maybe probably only Liverpool will, but City.
But don't you think this will be a very good confidence booster, because we needed this 100%. Game. It breaks 100%. That वो mentality break करता है ना, वरना let's say if you kind of drew this game also, then first 4 games there are 3 draws and 1 loss, and then it's just
तुमने देखा they wanted to go for the 10th. They were not stopping.
Sure.
I was dead sure कि 10 गोल लगेंगे, and they wanted to go on. They did not care कि हम already 7-8 मार चुके हैं. We stopped against United. हमने छोड़ दिया. इनको बेइज्जत नहीं करना. I don't know why. Shame on Klopp for that. But आज हमने नहीं छोड़ा. आज तो Klopp बोले जितना जा बेटा, जी ले अपनी जिंदगी, जितने मारने हैं मार. So I think I was very happy कि आज तो तुझे नहीं छोड़ेंगे. Bournemouth बेचारा I don't feel that bad, but I kind of feel कि नहीं बेचारे फंस गए आज.
I mean true, but Premier League में हो तो you kind of expect
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you are not up to that quality, then I mean, yeah, maybe 9 goals is a overkill, but अगर हमें chance मिल रहा है तो हम क्यों नहीं मारेंगे,
Yeah,
right? Like
obviously,
it's
like
not like कि 6 लग गए तो यार अरे जाने देते. That's not the mentality that players have.
no,
But I
yeah,
completely get it because लिवरपूल जैसे टीम के सामने when you are a championship team and you don't have those resources, तुम्हारे पास वो players नहीं है and everything
yeah,
kind of goes to, and यार 4-5 गोल खाने के बाद हाफ टाइम में it is difficult to have a good second half,
yeah,
and so the expectation was कि 5 और लगेंगे, but then we had 4, so I mean
yeah.
acha, so one another thing, the next game is Newcastle. We'll not talk much about it, but like it is one of our bogey teams, like what Palace is to City, and Palace is to Liverpool too. But what do you think? Like, they have signed a new striker, Isaac, and they
I
look
have
really they've been playing really well, to be honest, sir. And
I have
so
absolutely no idea न्यूकासल की आधी टीम क्या है, क्योंकि मैंने like ट्रांसफर न्यूज़ इस सीजन फॉलो नहीं की है, बट
no,
आई
they
डेफिनेटली
they have
बिलीव कि न्यूकासल इज अ बिग चैलेंज फॉर अस, क्योंकि जिस
they
हिसाब
have
से वो
most of the
खेले
same
हैं.
players which were there last season. ज़्यादा कुछ
Oh,
additions
okay.
नहीं हुए, and it is just like Callum Wilson fit नहीं था तो he's fit right now. Midfield में there are Saint Maximin, Miguel Almiron और ये सारे लोग हैं. Then
Yeah,
last year they got Trippier from Atletico, so he's playing there. And then I think some of the Eddie Howe players, Dan Burn जो था from the previous Bournemouth, he's in Newcastle now. So they have had some signings. It is not a very starkly different
it
team.
will be challenging game. I don't
Hmm.
think वो easy रहेगा बोनमत जैसा. I think we can expect something like
I feel like अगर हमने न्यूकासल
Fulham
को
type
अच्छे से
game.
नेविगेट कर लिया ना, अगर हमने like उनको just like not just we I hope we don't go into this game thinking कि न्यूकासल के सामने हमेशा अपना कुछ ना कुछ तो लफड़ा होता है, right? We want to go in this game like open minded. ठीक है, जो भी होगा अपन गेम में देख लेंगे. Let's say we win 2-1. And navigating a bogey team is so much more confidence booster, right? Like at the end
Yeah,
of the day, हमने Newcastle को navigate कर लिया, so then the next game weeks look nicer and much easier. And so, like, I don't know. I think it is just for us to like Bournemouth वाला momentum plus फंसना नहीं है वाले situations है. I think like if we just nick them,
yeah.
that's fine for me. I don't like 4-5 goals तो शायद ना लगे because हर रोज बारिश नहीं होती,
फिर तो
but
राम जाने मैच में क्या होगा यार. All right, so I think last point, I think we definitely
the
Ashutosh
big
reminded me. Yes.
question, the big
So
question.
तो लाइक वही आज मैंने काफी डिस्कशन देखा, काफी नहीं लाइक कुछ जगह पे डिस्कशन देखा कि अब हेनरी आके बोलेगा कि अरे 9-0 से जीत गए तो अब तो प्लेयर नहीं चाहिए,
नहीं,
लेकिन ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला.
देखो पता है, मैं लिवरपूल एको का एक आर्टिकल देख रहा था, उसमें अपेरेंटली किसी फैन ने ऊपर से जब वो टनल में से जा रहा था तो जॉन हेनरी को चिल्लाया
मैंने
कि
देखा
लाइक
वो
आर
वीडियो, लाइक ही गिव
हाँ
थम्स
आर
अप.
यू हाँ तो आर यू साइनिंग अ मिडफील्डर, ही गेव अ थम्स अप.
I don't think उसने सुना, like there was just too much, he was just maybe
Whatever, we are
whatever.
reading into it too much, but that's what makes it fun, right? Like
Yeah.
this is how you
So
can
I'll
clickbait
give
an
my 2
article.
cents and I'll shut up. I think club knew pretty well that they need a midfielder, but वो देख रहे थे कि what is our breaking point. Again a big mistake, क्योंकि risk लेना हमें नहीं चाहिए था. But they took a risk.
But that is not how you run a club though. You can't
Yeah.
say कि like कि ये बैंडेड कितने दिन चलेगा और फिर उसके बाद जब बैंडेड फटेगी और लगेगी तुमको
Yeah, so but
तुम्हारी
unfortunately, like देखो, FSG, like for whoever likes it and whoever hates it, like the thing is they will not spend money as long as they don't feel that they have to. Plus उनके पास जो मैनेजर है, he also believes कि हाँ मैं चलो ना मैं देख लेता हूँ, चल लेता हूँ. तो this is this perfect storm जिसमें
बट
like
मैं तेरे
fans
को
are
एक
not
चीज
able to.
बट मैं तेरे को
और
एक चीज ये भी बोलता हूँ कि like Klopp has always he has a reputation of, I mean obviously doing well with what the resources he has, but he has made players also. So the first instinct is कि भाई हमारे पास कोई है जिसको हम बना चुके हैं, जिसको ले, instead of like buying, which makes sense. But I mean for a club like Liverpool, you don't have that much time, you don't have that much patience
yeah,
from fans either, so you have to buy someone you
Yeah.
can keep training that player and like कि भाई हाँ like you can have someone like a Trent or like someone like Javi जो अपने academy से तो नहीं है but still like the young players, right?
तो
So
मेरा इसमें ये मानना है कि लाइक आई अंडरस्टैंड कि क्लब जो सोच रहा है कि अभी इस मार्केट में प्लेयर साइन करना बहुत ही लाइक डिफिकल्ट है, द वन यू वांट। लाइक काफी लोग बोलते हैं कि तुम प्रीमियर
मैं
लीग से ये उठा लो, वो उठा लो, व्हिच आई
तो
अंडरस्टैंड, बट लाइक दैट इज नॉट व्हाट आवर लाइक मैनेजमेंट लाइक क्लॉप और वो सब चाहते हैं। सो आई थिंक मे बी लाइक रादर देन लाइक जस्ट गोइंग ओवरबोर्ड, like I think constructive criticism, ये इस बार I think there is a lot more constructive criticism of like
well
Klopp overall कि
yeah
भाई तुमने you have made a mistake here,
but
thinking that you will sail through, but I don't think you can. Like this is like plain to see for like most people who are not that much analytical. So I
but
think
credit where it is due, he said that like I thought it would be fine but it's not fine, like we do need a
yeah
midfielder, so he came
yeah
out and accepted it. And I'm pretty sure like he's been reading all these articles because he said you all said we wanted a midfielder, and he's like you all are right. That means he's referring to fans saying that we
हाँ
do need a midfielder, right?
yeah,
So
like
he's
wait, I think they knew this is what I think they knew that a midfielder will be a great help because Henderson or Thiago are not 100% reliable like available, but उन लोगों ने
but
फिर से I think their strategy was we will take a risk and let's see.
Hmm.
I don't know why, either maybe FSG did not give them money or
Hmm.
maybe उनको कुछ players sell करने थे, maybe जो भी
मैं
whatever
एक और चीज
XYZ
बोलता
reason
हूँ
था, like
Hmm.
they chose not to sign a midfielder. But I
right
think अभी जो situation आ गई है, now they know that if we don't sign a midfielder, हम काफी पीछे रह जाएंगे. So I think that is where
वो
they
तो
are.
है but like Liverpool will not sign a player if it's not a Liverpool type of player.
Yeah,
Like
that is there.
we have like ये आशुतोष हमेशा like ये वाले गैंग जो आता है बोलते हैं कि like न्यूकासल ये प्लेयर खरीद रहा है, मैनचेस्टर ये सिटी ये प्लेयर खरीद रहा है। अगर पैसा फेंक के मुंह पे मारने की बात है, if that
Yeah,
is how the
we
club
can
runs,
never do that. Yeah,
हम नहीं कर
obviously.
सकते या हमने हमने जो 2015 से डेवलप किया है, we always want, we have had players who were not Liverpool like, and even though they were good players they were not given a chance and they moved on. And so why would you, तुमने बेन डेविस और ओजान कबाक जैसे प्लेयर भी खरीद लिए, क्या फायदा हो गया? लाइक इट वाज जस्ट अ बैंडेड पैच, राइट? दे वर नॉट लिवरपूल प्लेयर्स। तो जब जब
Yeah.
लगी थी आग तब हमने खरीद लिया, बट देन लाइक डिड
Like
इट
in
टर्न
my
आउट टू बी अ गुड
opinion,
बिजनेस?
Kabak
नो।
was not bad, but हम कोनाटे की डील करने वाले थे, तो I
राइट
guess it
राइट
made
आई
sense
इट
कि like
मेक सेंस,
we
बट आई एम
yeah
जस्ट सेइंग कि लाइक we have to come to the terms कि like चलो पैसा might be one thing where FSG is being chindi, but we will not sign a player unless it is our type of player, and I don't think market में कोई ऐसा midfielder है कि like जिसको हम अभी ले सकें. Like if they are happy at the team, if they are contracted at the team, I don't think Liverpool will go on to spend like $50 million on some midfielder क्योंकि उसका 2-3 साल का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पड़ा है. I
yeah
think लिवरपूल का हमेशा से ऐसा रहा है कि we wait until the last year of the contract when the price comes down significantly, and so वो सारी चीजें हैं, but we have to accept the fact हम लोग इरेशनली नहीं बोल सकते लाइक पैसा फेंक तमाशा
no
देख वाला सीन है ही नहीं लिवरपूल में. इफ यू आर अ फैन यू हैव टू एक्सेप्ट इट एंड मूव ऑन. सो आई फील लाइक यू नो दैट स्टेटमेंट, हमें खरीदना है बोल तो दिया है, बट दैट कम्स विद अ कैवियट ऑफ अगर वो लिवरपूल प्लेयर नहीं है. सो राइट एट द एंड ऑफ द
look
डे इफ लिवरपूल at the end of the day if Liverpool does not sign a midfielder, then they can say we never found a player who was a Liverpool type player. So you know, I mean, I'm just saying कि
मेरे
like ये
ख्याल से
बैंडेड और
ये
लंबा चल
सिचुएशन
सकता है.
नहीं आएगी. I think
Okay.
they know the player they want to go for. Probably
Okay.
they are negotiating because हमने like पिछले कई टाइम से देखा हो तो like
Which player?
it I have absolutely no idea. हमें
अच्छा.
जोटा के बारे में we never knew,
Oh,
Diaz
we
के बारे
never
में
knew
we
about
never
them.
knew. So like player is like जब final negotiations final stage में होता है तब हमें पता चलता है. So I think this could be the very same situation.
I think one thing that kept them from not signing a midfielder was like Thiago का fitness. In the sense कि the expectation was that he would not be this unfit, like उसको इतनी injuries नहीं होंगी, and that's why we felt that we had a good midfield, right? Like
Yeah.
because considering Thiago we are good, Naby Keita को इधर उधर पैच कर लिया या ऑक्स को पैच कर लिया, like this is all bullshit talk, but like
Yeah,
let's say
I think like this is what probably club thought. I'm not sure. कि sorry, not club thought, club and
Yeah.
club, whatever, like the management, कि हमारे जो ये सारे fit हो जाएंगे 7-8 गेम में.
Right,
So
right,
we should
exactly.
not buy a bigger name maybe, and like just keep him on bench, because we are more sensitive towards paying wages. Like we're not as sensitive towards transfer fees. Like
And
we
anyways, yeah,
gave
like if you
money.
are taking a big money signing, nobody wants to be on the bench, you
Yeah.
know?
So I think that I understand that logic, but yeah, obviously fans will not understand, which I also understand. But obviously, जिसको decision लेना है वही decision लेने वाले.
Right.
So in my opinion, I think that it was a wrong choice that we did not sign a midfielder. Maybe we should have had at least one, like जो मिलनर की तरह deputize भी कर सके, so we can at
Deputize कर
least that
सके.
fill a hole that does not let anything pass through. Okay, maybe
Right. Yeah.
we don't have someone who attacks like Thiago, पर हम at least ऐसा defender तो रखे जो
Right.
functional हो, at
Right.
least बॉल को जाने ना दे, spectator
Right.
ना हो, like
Yeah.
like Henderson tends to be in many cases. तो I think वो कर सकते हैं, but I understand like how
Acha, so
Klopp wants to
I have,
proceed.
I mean, we'll end this podcast with probably your take on this. I think three names that have been floated out is Frankie is available. And I think Frankie is a very much Liverpool type player. He knows क्योंकि ETH ka Ajax was very much similar in terms of like play style, like how we used to play. And so that is one option, and I think people have talked about it. Like Liverpool के साथ कुछ connections जोड़े गए हैं. One another thing is, I think हम लोग कितने टाइम से बात कर, probably last season से बात कर रहे हैं, मीत का favorite player Nicolo Barella. I don't know what his contract situation is, but that's one another player. And I think I've been hearing about Brentford ka Sanderberger. And
No,
so
Sandberger के बारे में I don't know. Barella के बारे में I don't know that player, so I
right,
will
right.
not. I'm not sure, but अगर मीत ने recommend किया है तो definitely I think he will be worth it. So Frankie के बारे में I think there are some things like
I feel like
first
I
it's a
feel
Barcelona, or
yeah,
there is not good relationship first of all.
right.
Or plus Frankie के wages. Like I think Frankie De Jong is probably a very good player, maybe world class. Klopp के अंदर.
Would the lure of playing for Liverpool make him say कि like थोड़ा कम भी मिलेगा चलेगा, but मेरे को full time football खेलने मिलेगा?
But उसमें एक और factor है, like Barcelona is completely like over leveraged club right now, so they need money. So how far they are willing to cut, because
उनको अपने प्लेयर रजिस्टर कराने के लिए हमसे वो registration tax मांगेगा,
maybe
अपन
there
दे
is
देंगे.
something Liverpool can exploit. They're like, हाँ तुम्हें तो player बिठाना ही है, so it's better that you give us for like cheap. At least तुम्हारे book से player is off, like you're not like paying loan. But I think maybe it's a long shot, in my opinion.
Maybe something like a deal where we pay less upfront, but then like Liverpool is a team which is going to play four cup competitions, and so there could be clauses like ये cup में जीते या वो cup में जीते तो इतना. But
again,
I mean,
Barcelona needs money, so I think they will demand upfront. So I मुझे पता नहीं है इस rumor का source क्या है. I think he is a good option available. Like सुनने में अच्छा है. I don't really know how Frankie De Jong plays. But given like Barcelona, but they tend to overpay, so I'm not putting too much into that. But whatever, he played in Ajax, so yeah, maybe he's a good enough player. But I think there are some situations that might prevent that transfer happening from at all. So let's see. I think जो भी sign करेंगे, I'm going more towards like some sort of like functional cheap option.
I think हमें एक young player तो लेना ही पड़ेगा, because Fabinho is not getting any younger, and so we will need to think that hard, right? Like somebody who can be a Fabinho, and we have to buy someone like that. So I think on that ponderous note of who is going to be our midfield signing, hopefully nothing
we will
comes
sign
around.
One, that I'm sure.
Yes, we'll sign one, and hopefully we sign something like a Fabinho where Fabrizio himself did not expect that it would be a signing. ऐसा करके दिखा दो लिवरपूल, चकदे पट्टे कर देंगे ये फैंस वाले. आशु जैसे लोगों के मुंह पे ऐसा एक गड्डी नोट का फेंक के मारो, और वैसे ही एक लाइक बटन भी फेंक के मारना. If you guys like this podcast, keep tuning in, and then we'll get you into like fun stuff. एक दिन ऐसा भी करेंगे कि हम लोग का जो ग्रुप चैट होता है ना, we'll we'll release
उसके
some of our
messages
group
read
chat.
करेंगे.
Yes. And
Okay.
हम एक गेम खेलेंगे जिसका नाम होगा Guess Who Said This.
Yeah.
And then you would know. अगर तुम लोग पॉडकास्ट बहुत क्लोजली फॉलो करते हो, तुम लोग को टेक्स्ट देख के ही पता चल जाएगा कि कौन कौन है. But divided by FSG, united by Liverpool, here we go. We wish like Newcastle वाला गेम भी अच्छे से जाए, and then we'll come back. We'll have this discussion once again. And so thank you for tuning in. बहुत मजा आया धवल. Late night podcast should be a thing. And so we should do it more regularly. Hopefully you're settled now, and so hopefully we can have you more and we can do this. And so thank you.
Like
Thank you
this time period is good enough for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. So see you guys. We'll come back with our FPL podcast soon, where our experts who are themselves not scoring much will give you their advice on how to make your team. And so we'll see you next time. Bye guys.
Yeah. Bye-bye.